of...
The game itself.
Yeah, it's a long game. How much time you got? Yeah.
Where do you think he was going lost?
Well, I just wait for everyone to settle. We're having a press conference. Everyone's wandering in like Brown's cows. I think it's a fair question. I thought, really, if I take it to half-time, their midfield was on top around the clearances. So spoke strongly. I thought our backs were fighting on. You know, we're undersized down there, which we knew coming in, but the key to that was going to be winning the midfield clearances, and they really did their work really well in the first half in there. So half-time we focused on let's start winning the ball more, and because I thought two things. The clearances early hurt us, and there was times where we could have come out of defence, we went backwards and sideways when we should have taken some ground. So they were the two messages at half-time. Start winning the ball, and at quarter time, let's not switch for the sake of switching. Let's get some unique ground. You've got to take some long down the line and get some yardage. So they were the messages. I thought our forwards were opportunistic, the little amount of opportunity our midfield gave them, and I thought our defenders defended pretty well under siege. Half-time, we come out, we dominated the entries, 14-9, but we struggled. You can't drop marks and miss opportunities, and I thought, they got some opportunities that they took late that gave them a lead, and I thought we dared to win in the last quarter, got real ascendancy, got within 10 points, a couple of errors, and Buddy's class kicked, goal from the boundary and a goal from 55, and they held sway, but I thought we never stopped trying. That's a brief summary, I reckon.
Despite those couple of goals from Buddy, obviously you'd be pleased with Silvani overall.
Look, I thought he fought on, Yeah, obviously we had some challenges down there, but I thought him and Zach Dawson, we're talking about probably the most powerful combination forwards in the competition, and with plenty of entries. I think they had 30 at half-time. So, I thought they fought on pretty well.
Is it fair to say, Ross, you've got no regrets about your decision to go a bit undersized in defence?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, look, the midfield will acknowledge it. They didn't get it done to half-time. If they had did what they did in the first half, what they did in the second, we might be having a different conversation. But, it's the Dennis Pagan. Marnie had whiskers. Should be my uncle, so.
2 weeks in a row, David Mundy's had a really quiet first half and a really big second half.
Well, second quarter, he got to work. Yeah, I can't explain that sometimes. Yeah, he's a pretty good player for us, good leader. It's unusual. Hope it doesn't happen now next week.
You found it real the past month, so you're scoring out a little bit. What do you think happened there tonight? Was it just a case of some players not taking their opportunities?
No, I feel like I've answered that. 19 entries in the first half. I thought we were really efficient. And then what happens is then it becomes a really difficult day. The rain comes when you get entries, so it becomes a harder task and it gets congested. So, yeah, look, I thought Matthew was terrific. I think the rest of our forwards, wouldn't say they had their best day, but we didn't provide when the conditions were at their best, provide the opportunities that we needed to for our forwards. I thought we looked dangerous early.
You saw Chris Scott last night. Still feel that this side can still have plenty of say in the rest of September. I mean, do you still feel that you have an impact?
Oh, look, I understand the question, but I think first and foremost, you work really hard to create a double chance. The fielding process of the team's really strong. They're a very complete team, Sydney. I thought, while I don't lose any admiration for my team's ability to fight, we're no excuse football club, but things haven't, had some challenges along the way. It hasn't been the smoothest ride this week. So we get back on the bird tonight, and we play the winner. I think it is out of Port and Richmond. So the coaches will fly and have a look, and our players will be up for the challenge at home in front of our home members and fans at home, and we look forward to fighting our way into a preliminary final appearance, because that's the prize. If you win at home next week, you go into a prelim. So there's plenty of opportunity for us. We'll learn a lot out of today's game. Certainly, I wouldn't have thought our fans or members would be disappointed with our overall effort.
Ross, what do you think of Matthew Pavlich's game today? The opportunities that he had.
Yeah, look, in the end, the ball went in there a fair bit in the end. Yeah, I thought he played quite well.
Ross, you mentioned you had some adversity to deal with. How disruptive was the plane cancellation?
Yeah, look, I think it's just the whole package. There's no excuse. I don't think it really affected us, but you prefer not to have to deal with it. I think we've got to pay credit to Sydney. Very, very good team, very talented team. They were very hard today. They took their opportunities, and when they were challenged, they responded. So, you know, they deserve to get the week off, and that's the way it works.
If you to make the grand final from here, you're going to have to travel 3 times in the final series now. Is that doable from Perth?
Pardon?
Is that doable from Perth?
I wouldn't even have looked at the equation, really. I'm squarely focused on a home final. I know we don't travel next week, so that's handy.
Valentine came from the field with a high knock. Was there, are you concerned about any damage there? And
Did he go back on?
performance at all? He did go back.
What quarter was that?
It was early in the third, from memory.
Yeah, so two things. I think your performance is fairly well delivered by the third, and he went back on. So two things. Didn't affect his performance, and he's okay.
I didn't see it, but I heard there was a very small altercation as you were heading down on the field, I think, maybe 3/4 time.
Yeah. Someone hit me on the back, and I responded. That was about the size of it.
With a hand or a fist or?
No, I just felt some force to my back, so I turned around, said, "Please don't do that."
Was it an issue at all having to walk up through the crowd?
No, it's never an issue, but you only need one. So, yeah, it's a safe environment. You've got security. Sometimes things happen.
Security deal with it? If it was someone thrown out? Or?
I'd like to think they were, but you'd have to ask security. That's their job, not mine.
After we'll talk about the ground during the week, are you happy with the surface?
Yeah, no problems. Magnificent, I reckon. Yeah, magnificent. I thought, see a red and white. It's great. Well, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. In all seriousness, yeah, no issues.
What do you need to do to improve to get the side back into a winning form?
It's a good question. I feel like I've answered it. I think if our midfield had won the ball a little bit better, and you know we had to take some opportunities and all those sort of things. It's lots of bits and pieces.
Taberner's had a really good year, but do you reconsider his role coming into the next one?
Based on
He dropped a critical mark at one point and just didn't have the impact.
Yeah.
he's had in recent weeks.
look, we talk about growth. We really rate him. He's been super. He's exceeding what most young players do. You can't buy experience. He'll grow from this. He'll learn. Yeah, we've got full faith in. We don't sort of give up on people for one drop mark, or we're just talking about the basics. That you know, taking some opportunities can be the difference, really. Yeah, no, we've got full faith.
Valentine and Walters, their performances have obviously given you a lot the last few weeks, but how significant was that today? You didn't get much from either of them.
Well, I thought they fought on, and they were part of us getting within 10 points. I thought they looked dangerous at all times. They take a lot of mining. Smith's a very good player, All-Australian, back pocket. Sometimes it's a bit about did the mids get in and help enough and those sort of things. Were they outnumbered? We'll review that. Yeah, I don't shed at home. We're a weighted numbers team. We're not a team filled with superstars. I'm happy to hear the argument, but we're about everyone doing their bit and doing their role. And, you know, the more people we execute and win the position, I thought we could have won a few more positions today to just sort of edge on top. At the end of the day, I think Sydney would suggest that they won enough positions to get the points.
I know you're likely to have to be defenders, but would McFarlane be any chance?
It's a good question. I haven't got much more than an update. Yeah, we'll keep pushing him through. I couldn't even give you the percentages. I know he's making gains. Is it enough? We're thrilled with Alex, you know. There's not too many forward lines that have Tippett, Franklin, Goods and Reid all sitting in their front half. So yeah, it was a unique challenge today. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was one. I said it'd be won and lost in the midfield, and it was. Thanks, guys. Huh? Yeah, he's in the 25. Yeah.
Just on Valentine, am I correct to say you said the injury didn't affect him today, performance-wise? You didn't think it was a...
I thought it was a tough. It's not easy. Look, it is a small, tight ground. It was really slippery. You know, there was plenty of water and rain. You're playing on great opponents and limited supply. So I'd leave Hayden alone and focus on, if you want to pot anyone, pot our midfield. Let's leave Hayden alone because he's a great little player. Thanks, guys.
Ross, was the Pearce substitution, was that just performance?
No, it was just a bit of fatigue for him. Yeah.
Thanks, Ross.